From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is Wake Up Weather.
Good Monday morning to you. I'm Kelly Rawson here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We are live at 6 a.m. We have a very hot day in store all across the Tennessee Valley. Not only will today be hot, tomorrow will as well. We do have some relief from the heat on the way, but that does come with a trade-off with an increase in rain and storm chances heading into the middle and end of this week. So I will map out everything you need to know to get you ready for the week ahead. But let's go ahead and start off with an interesting scene this morning on one of our Arctic Air sky cams. If you are in Lawrenceburg or Lawrence County or even in southern middle Tennessee, you know that there is a new coffee shop in town. 7 Brew has opened this morning, and I will say the line was quite long. Just a little bit ago, they opened at 5:30. The line has gone down. So hey, if you want some coffee, head over to 7 Brew. Otherwise, conditions are pretty calm, just very warm to start off the day in Lawrenceburg and all across the Tennessee Valley. Much calmer into Columbia downtown. Not much activity there this early Monday morning. Temperatures and dew points pretty similar. That makes for a muggy start to our Monday here across the region. We're looking a little blurry, but you can still see a mostly clear sky with just a little bit of patchy fog around the area, but really not a widespread issue. Just know that in low-lying areas and out in those rural back roads, you could encounter a little bit of patchy fog, but no need to really add any time to your commute this morning. Not a widespread issue by any means. Temperatures are already very warm, a little bit cooler into Hohenwald and Lewisburg into the upper 60s. Otherwise, we are in the low to even mid 70s out there across the region this morning. So that is indicative of a very warm and hot afternoon in store all across the region. In fact, we do have a heat advisory, and in fact, for the entire Tennessee Valley viewing area, that is in effect through this evening. In fact, it is also in effect for tomorrow. So just preparing you beforehand. But index values this afternoon as high as 105 to 108 degrees. So another afternoon to be sure you're taking your heat precautions, staying hydrated, and taking plenty of breaks if you have to be outdoors for prolonged periods of time. In terms of rain chances for the beginning of the week, they are minimal. I'll show you how they increase heading into the middle and end of the week. But for this morning, we will see a mostly sunny sky for much of this morning and even much of the afternoon. By mid-morning and late morning, we're still looking nice and dry temperatures already into the lower 90s. Before we get to lunchtime, we're talking mid to upper 90s, so slightly warmer than what Futurecast is showing. By the afternoon, you'll notice a mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky for the afternoon, and you'll notice not much in terms of a rain and storm development. Now, we're going to be so hot and so humid that I can't completely rule out a few thunder showers popping up, but we are looking to be mostly dry for the rest of this afternoon. Just note that that slight chance is there, mainly during peak heating hours, mainly between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. But then by the time we get to the evening and closer to sunset, any sort of thunder showers that did develop should start to fizzle out, and we are going to be mostly clear overnight. Temperatures will eventually cool off into the low to mid 70s. But hey, we will take any relief, even if it is overnight, but we will still be quite muggy overnight. Temperatures starting off in the low to mid 70s for your Tuesday morning, starting off mostly sunny as well, maybe some patchy fog in those rural areas. Otherwise, we are talking a mostly sunny start to the day. Like today, minimal rain and storm chances for your Tuesday, but the chance is still there. Can't completely ignore it or rule it out. But then heading into your Wednesday, that's when we will start to see rain and storm chances really ramp up. We're talking scattered to widespread showers and storms thanks to this cold front, and we will call it a cold front because we are going to knock our temperatures down quite a few degrees, but it's not going to be feeling cold by any means towards the end of this week, but it will be feeling cooler. So that is something to look forward to. I'll have those temperatures here in just a moment, but we're talking scattered to widespread showers and storms by the time we get to Wednesday afternoon into the early evening, and scattered thunderstorms will be around for the rest of the week, Thursday, as well as into Friday. Now, temperatures for today and tomorrow, very hot. Air temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. Those heat index values, I think maybe even a little bit warmer than what this graph is showing. 105 to 108 degrees both today and tomorrow. So not only today do you need to practice your heat precautions, also tomorrow. But then we start to cool things off, lower to mid 90s heading into Wednesday as that cold front starts to get into our area, bringing us an increase in rain and storm chances. Temperatures, though, for the rest of the week, we are cooling off into the upper 80s. But hey, we go from the upper 90s to the upper 80s. So yes, we are cooling off. No, it will not feel cold, but you will notice a little bit of a difference between the beginning of the week and the end of the week. I wish we could make it a little bit cooler. But let's go ahead and turn our attention to the tropics this morning, just briefly, and then we will hop back to our local forecast. But we do still have Hurricane Erin, Category 4 storm this morning. I'll show you the track in just a moment, but this thing has been pretty intense to watch over the weekend and over the last few days. But we are still watching Erin, but again, and like we've said over the last several days, I'm not quite sure we even see any effects aside from tide and rip current issues and maybe some outer band rainfall towards the continental United States. However, we are going to continue to see that stay offshore, Category 4 strength, and then slowly but surely weaken a little bit as it meanders northward, as it starts to take a more northwestward track over the next little bit. But we are still watching, but I don't think we have any reason for concern. Now, hopping over to our next tropical wave, a disorganized cluster of thunderstorms way far out in the Atlantic. No organized development at this time, but we will continue to keep our eyes on this next wave that we are going to be watching over the next 7 days. The National Hurricane Center has given it a 50% chance of development over the next week or so. Back here at home, though, again, minimal rain chances for today. Otherwise, mostly sunny to start off the day. Temperatures in the mid-70s. I don't think you really need the rain gear for today, but we do have that isolated thunder shower chance. Can't rule it out, but not betting on it by any means. Otherwise, mostly sunny to partly cloudy for this afternoon. We are just going to be hot. That is the main story for today. Mid to upper 90s for this afternoon. Heading off to the bus stop anytime soon. No need for a jacket by any means this morning. Over the next few hours, we are going to warm up into the mid to upper 90s by this afternoon. Again, can't rule out a few thunder showers popping up because we are going to be so hot and so humid, but I think we should stay mostly dry for today, mostly sunny for much of the day, as well as we start things off in the 70s and then climb up into the mid to upper 90s. Remember, heat index values this afternoon into the triple digits up to 105 to 108 degrees. So again, be sure to stay hydrated, take plenty of breaks if you have to be working outdoors. And we thank you, all of you workers who do have to be working outdoors, especially during this miserable heat. Hopefully you can get some relief heading into this evening, but minimal rain chances to start off the week. Temperatures, though, hot in the upper 90s for today and for tomorrow. Again, heat index values like today into the 105 to 108 degree range for tomorrow as well. No relief until we start to increase our rain and storm chances, scattered to widespread chances for your Wednesday, mainly during the afternoon into the early evening. Temperatures in the low to mid 90s for your Wednesday, but then we start to cool things off heading into Thursday and the rest of the week. And I say cool off, but we do drop about 10 degrees. However, upper 80s is still quite warm out there. Scattered thunderstorms, though, will continue Thursday and Friday with isolated storm chances heading into the weekend. That's a check at your local weather forecast. I hope everybody has a wonderful start to the week and a wonderful Monday. I'll be back at 8 a.m. with your next weather update.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.